Got a new show for y'all. Got a damn good show.
Lost my breath at the end.
Got a damn good show.
All right, so we've all seen the news from the mainstream media that Ukraine, they like Rocky Balboa. Underdog. They win in the war. They like Rocky Balboa. Got the, what's that song? Eye of the Tiger? Mm-hmm. Got the song playing. Rocky Balboa taking them punches. Keeps charging forward. Ukraine's winning the war.
Who is Rocky fighting, Mr. T?
The Russian? That's a no-brainer right there, man.
You go with the Russian, huh? Because Ukraine is at war with Russia. Makes sense. Why would you put a nigga in there? You only put the Negro in there if he's fighting, if Ukraine's war with Africa.
Yeah, he's fighting Russia.
Common sense.
But anyway, Tucker Carlson, I think he's exposing what's really going down in Ukraine-Russia war. I think we'll have a...
What? Ukraine ain't winning?
According to CNN, they winning.
I don't believe that. Can't trust anything CNN says. You can trust what Tucker says. Sometimes you can trust what Fox says. Can't trust them after they did away with Tucker.
Yeah, you can't trust them.
That's why I'm boycotting Fox.
Yeah. But anyway, check out what Tucker had to say.
Yeah, let's see what Tucker had to say.
And this is crazy.
I don't care what Fox says. I want to know what Tucker got to say about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to know what Tucker Carlson got to say. Not Fox. Yeah, Tucker Carlson.
Sound like you said Carlson.
Carlson.
Pretty much everything that NBC News and the New York Times have told you about the war in Ukraine is a lie. The Russian army is incompetent, they claim. Ukraine is a democracy. Vladimir Putin is Hitler, and he's trying to take over the world. Thankfully, the Ukrainians are winning. None of that is true. Every claim is false, the last one especially. The Ukrainian army is not winning. In fact, it's losing badly. Ukraine is being destroyed. Its population is being slaughtered in lopsided battles with a technologically superior enemy, or scattered by the millions to the rest of the globe as refugees. Ukraine is running out of soldiers. As that happens, the question will inevitably arise, who's going to replace them? If the Ukrainians can't beat Putin, who will? The answer, of course, will be us. American troops will fight the Russian army in Eastern Europe. That's most likely. And the assumption is we'll win. But will we win? Probably not, says former Army Colonel Douglas Macgregor, a decorated combat veteran who advised the Secretary of Defense in the last administration. The U.S., says Macgregor, is on the brink of a catastrophic war that could very easily destroy us. Few Americans seem to understand that, but they should. Doug Macgregor is now the CEO of Our Country, Our Choice, and we sat down with him recently. This conversation is worth hearing. Doug Macgregor, thanks for joining us. How would you assess and describe the state of the war in Ukraine right now?
That's an important question, and not enough people have good answers at this point. I think all of the lies that have been told for more than a year and a half about the Ukrainians are winning, the Ukrainian cause is just, the Russians are evil, the Russians are incompetent, all of that is collapsing. And it's collapsing because what's happening on the battlefield is horrific. The Ukrainians now, we think, have lost 400,000 men killed in battle.
Yeah.
We were talking about 350,000 a few months ago. It was in the last month of this supposed counteroffensive, which was to sweep the battlefield. They lost at least 40,000 killed. We don't even know how many people have been wounded, but we know that probably upwards of 40 to 50,000 soldiers are amputees. We know the hospitals are full. And we know that Ukrainian units at the platoon and company level, that's with anywhere from 50 to 150 to 200 men, are in piecemeal fashion surrendering to the Russians. Not because they don't want to fight, it's because they can't fight anymore. They have so many wounded, they can't evacuate them. And commanders are saying, well, if I can't evacuate my wounded, I'm going to surrender because otherwise the wounded will die. And so they call the Russians, and they all speak Russian. and tell them on the radio, look, I've got 50, 60 wounded here. I'm going to surrender because I don't want them to be killed. And the Russians from the very beginning have always treated the Ukrainian soldiers very fairly and very gently. And so they know they're not going to be abused or mistreated. They know they can actually be exchanged for Russian prisoners in the future. So they've surrendered. And I think we're going to see this army that we've been spending so heavily on increasingly melt away. And at the same time, as we're talking, if you look at this long banana-shaped strip of territory in southern Ukraine that the Russians control, if you go to the northeastern corner of that, south of this city called Kharkiv, there are major offensive operations taking place there right now. And the Ukrainian forces are being swept away in front of the Russians. And again, all of this happens in a way that is just not reported in the West. And in the meantime, rather than admit that this is a terrible tragedy that should be ended on humanitarian grounds, if no other, that the killing should stop, as President Trump said, stop the killing, we're going to continue. And this puts the Russians in the unhappy position of marching further west, because from the very beginning, Putin and his advisors were never interested in a war with NATO or the United States. That's why you've had such incrementalism, this slow grind of movement forward, defensive operations for a long period to build up the force, and then continued offensive operations. They have over 300,000 combat troops in reserve in Russia. And I think they're sitting there and not being released to fight because President Putin anticipates the possibility that we will intervene in Western Ukraine. And if we intervene in Western Ukraine, the Russians will be ready for that. And the consequences for us and for NATO will be devastating because we are not ready to fight the Russians.
I know I ain't ready. They can send them homos over there to fight. They sign up a bunch of homos and transgenders. That's what's important, diversity. You know, not a trained killer, but a homo. That's what we want. 400,000 dead? You think that's true? Can't trust anybody these days, but you can trust Tucker. You can trust Tucker.
400,000.
Hey, wait a minute. I haven't been watching Fox. I've been boycotting Fox since the whole Tucker debacle. I don't watch them anymore. You know, I solely believe that the reason why they got rid of him is a settlement with whatever. I don't want to get into it. If Fox, I don't know. Has Fox been reporting this? I know CNN. I know MSNBC. I know NBC. I know none of them.
This is the first I've heard of this anywhere.
See, that's why I say you can trust Tucker. Tucker's a good man.
But how would he know this? He got drones out there flying?
I don't know. You know, that's a good point. He might be a conspiracy theorist. One of those Alex Jones boys. See, you can't believe anybody.
No, well, he's what's the word I'm looking for? That man's got some connections.
Yeah.
He know what's going on.
Yeah.
I trust him. And you know all that equipment we sending to the Ukraine? It's not like we built it like overnight. Say, here, we built y'all some, here, take this. We gave them our stuff.
Because we didn't plan on using it.
So if
I got some connections too. My connections is telling me that all that equipment is the Army's. Our Army.
Yeah. If we have to get involved now, like if there's 400,000 Ukrainians have died in this war.
And they said 320,000 they have reservists for Russia.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, you know, they got the equipment now. I mean, we left all that equipment in Afghanistan.
Yeah. Gave that equipment to Afghanistan. All that equipment we gave to Ukraine, that's Russia's now.
Yeah. So I don't think we would be ready. We wasn't even ready for the Taliban. We was over there how many years? Taliban came walk back. Yep, they couldn't find us. We was in the caves.
Like we was never there.
Yeah. So I don't know why people think Ukraine can beat a power like Russia.
Yeah.
But besides, anyway, wars these days, nobody wins. It's got to be through diplomacy.
Yeah.
Nobody wins modern wars.
This could have been prevented if we had leadership here in America. All America had to do to stop this war is to back off Ukraine, stop sending them money, stop all the NATO advancement. No, the reason why they're at war is because it's the United States' fault. It's our fault.
It's poor leadership on our
Poor leadership, Biden's poor leadership, and the United States, it's all our fault. All those Ukrainians died.
Yeah, I was hearing I got some connections.
You got some connections?
Yeah.
Man, you ain't got no connections like me. I got connections.
Like my brothers were retired on.
Hey, you don't supposed to give up the source?
He was talking to me.
No, he won't. Keith made that up.
I made it
I
up.
don't even got a brother. Well, I got a twin brother. I don't have an older brother. Keith's lying. What you
No.
doing? You don't give up your source.
Well, I'll go to the other source I got.
Oh, you got another source.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You hear that, everybody? Keith's got another source. Well, what that source say?
The reason why we over there is because there's a bunch of biolabs there.
Yeah.
USA don't care about the Ukrainians. It's that those biolabs they got there.
Yeah. You think so?
Yeah. I'm thinking it's got to be
Just a financial incentive for us to intervene.
it's some kind of incentive that the American people don't really know about while we're over there. There's something.
Yeah.
Might be some homosexual sex ring or something.
What?
I mean, all those what's the guy for the Ukraine? The leader?
Zelensky.
Homosexual.
Man, these damn homosexuals is ruining this country. Ruining Ukraine. That homosexual don't know what he doing.
But-
Biden, he's a homosexual. He don't know what he's doing.
Hey, Kevin. No, USA ain't going over there. I guarantee you, if USA tries to get involved with a war with Russia,
You can't get involved with war with Russia. A nuclear
yeah,
powerhouse like that? No.
No.
That'd be end of all times.
no, USA. Okay, Biden said, okay, we're going in Russia. I guarantee you half the military in the U.S. military, they're gonna go AWOL.
Yeah, because
they're
look
not
look who y'all listed. A bunch of homos. Y'all ain't got no killers in there. Y'all ain't got no killers in there. Y'all got women wearing prosthetics. You got dudes. You got women wearing strap-ons.
Prosthetic penises.
Well, strap-ons too, man. Y'all ain't got real men in there.
Yeah, and no patriot. Literally half the military is gonna be conservative. Ain't no well, what I'm trying to say here is, ain't no damn patriot going into Ukraine fighting for Ukraine.
What would be the cause? What would be the cause? It's not to defend our borders. It's not to defend freedom, because we all know that's BS.
You fighting a nuclear power because all you had to do was stay out of NATO. That's all Putin wanted.
Yeah, he was defending his borders, just like we had defend our borders. Imagine if California broke away from the United States and joined Russia. What do you think we're going to do to California? We're going to turn that place into a parking lot. We can't let that happen. If Texas broke away from the United States, say they want to join Cuba, what are we going to do to Texas?
If Mexico want to become part of Russia,
See, take them. We don't need Mexico.
they're extra border, Kevin.
Those people, they're not good soldiers. They have no discipline. They have no
but-
integrity.
Hey, Kevin, you just killing your own freaking argument. It's going to be right at our border. Mexico's at our
Well,
border.
I know California's a fight. I know people in Texas. Yeah, we know those Americans, those Mexicans, they ain't got no integrity. They don't even fight for their own country. You think they're gonna fight for Russia? They scared of that drug cartels. I ain't worried about Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I turned Texas and California in a parking lot.
400,000 dead.
Yeah, that is insane.
And the
That's a
mainstream,
lot
if
of
that's
bodies.
true and the mainstream media's not talking about it,
Man,
I mean, when Vietnam was going by, they was dead. Cameras, everything. You could see everything. Vietnam.
Yeah.
They ain't,
you know what's weird, man?
what?
The liberal used to be anti-war.
Yeah.
Now they're pro-war. I don't get it.
There's no footage of what's going on. I wonder why. Man.
I don't think Putin's damn. He's not Hitler. He's not. He's just a communist.
If he was Hitler, he would have dropped a bomb on him.
Yeah.
A nuke.
Yeah, or it had concentration camps. He just defending his borders. I don't agree with communism. I don't agree with that type of government, but he's just defending his country, just like we.
Hey, we got a new giveaway going.
We
giving away a Ram 2500 diesel with a Cummins transmission in there and 10,000 in cold hard cash to enter the win.
Yeah.
Go to officialhodgetwins.com.
Yeah.
Anything you buy from the site,
Tell him.
get you automatically into the win. Yeah.